Will you live to be 40? What percentage of Americans are extremely overweight or obese? From my donut chart, aptly named for the topic, obese and overweight people make up 60% of America's population. Is there someone you love whose weight has gotten out of control? It's possible that this procedure could save their life. Good morning, class. My name is Ryan Renaud, and I have chosen to speak about the gastric bypass and my personal weight loss journey. I will discuss the reason why I decided to have the procedure done, what tasks are involved in getting it done, and what the results have been after exactly 1 year. But first, let's change into something a little bit more fitting. So what is the gastric bypass? Gastric bypass with Roux-en-Y is a medical procedure that reroutes your intestines and reduces the size of your stomach. As a result, this allows for major reduction in weight and can solve high blood pressure and diabetes. Now why? Why did I want to do this? In the winter of 2022, I contracted COVID and spent days in the hospital. There was a bad snowstorm which caused a shortage of nurses. I was placed in a back room of the hospital and felt like I was there to die. I tried to diet like a regular person, but it did not work. Food, mentally, was synonymous with enjoyment and pleasure. When I was eating, I was having a good time. My stomach was already too stretched out, and simple diets left me a void. I needed to reset my brain. In May of that year, I got a call from my grandmother. She was hysterical. "I think she is gone, Ryan," she said. "Ryan, your mother will not wake up." My mother passed away in her sleep the night before. To this day, we do not know what happened. She died the day before her birthday. 7 days later, I got a call from my sister-in-law. My grandfather had just passed. Both deaths were in the same house. My mother passed away in the basement and my grandfather upstairs. I lost my whole world in 1 week. At this point, I started to think about my own death. I was convinced it was time to make a change. So what is involved in having a procedure like this done? I had to convince the insurance company that I was serious. My body mass index needed to be measured by the doctor and sent into the insurance company. The Inova bariatrics team took care of all the checks and balances that the insurance company required. They also took care of all of the appointments. So what does an insurance company require for a surgery of this type? I needed to have a stress test done. Was my heart healthy enough, or had it already been damaged beyond repair? I needed to have a sleep study. Did I have sleep apnea? If so, it needed to be corrected. Blood tests needed to be taken. They needed to know if my vitamins and minerals were at a correct level. After 4 months of jumping through hoops, I was finally approved for surgery. I was put on a 1-month liquid diet. This is to reduce the fat around my liver. And I was allowed solid food. I was not allowed solid food and had to drink protein shakes approved by them. This task was easier than I had thought. Everyone around me was eating what they wanted, all of my trigger foods, but I was ready for the change. So how did it go? The surgery was a success, and my surgeon said my body reacted well to the liquid diet. The doctor said my liver looked beautiful. I honestly don't ever want to hear someone say they've seen my liver ever again. 2 weeks after recovery, I had to give myself shots in the stomach for blood clots and take lots of minerals and vitamins. I had to walk every single day to keep from complications. I slept in my recliner for a week until I could bear to sleep in the bed on my stomach. So how is my relationship with food now? I can only eat certain things in the beginning. The first 2 weeks was liquid again, and I was able to move on to mushy foods and yogurt such as applesauce. Currently, I can eat around 4 to 6 ounces of food per meal. I still rely on protein shakes to fill in the gaps. I do not like going out to eat anymore. I'm afraid that I will relapse. I want to order multiple things, but I can only eat 4 to 6 ounces, and spending $30 to $40 a meal doesn't seem tempting to me anymore. It's been a year now, and my progress, I have lost 230 pounds. almost exactly one half of myself. I went from 467 pounds to my current weight of 237. I have reduced my sizes in the waist from a 64-inch waist to a 40-inch waist. Since my weight loss, I can say life has become exponentially better. The heartache that led to my journey was my driving force. Then the rigorous process to convince the insurance company to give me a surgery date. I then had to heal. All of these steps helped me on my journey. If you are a person that is struggling with being obese or know someone that is, it is possible that the gastric bypass surgery can help save them. It is only a matter of time before the weight destroys you, and I implore you to make some changes before it's too late. Thank you for your time. All of my references for the resources that I've got into my speech here have been gathered from the Center for Disease Control for my donut chart here, and then the other information on the gastric bypass was received from the iNova Bariatrics website. And now I'll give you my visual presentation.